Dear students, welcome and thank you for tuning in. We are in video number 4 in the concept testing lecture of the product design and development class. At this stage, we have talked about 4 steps in the concept testing procedure. The first one is defining the purpose of the concept test. Second was choosing a survey population. Third, choosing a survey format. And the fourth one was communicating the concept. And one of the ways that we can communicate our concept with the expected customers is using storyboard, something like this. We are going to continue our discussion about the steps of concept testing using the electric scooter. We are going to move now to talk about how to measure customer response, which is the 5th step of the process. Assuming that we are talking about and continuing our example, the electric scooter, we can say that to have a survey, the format of the survey, using the storyboard format, which is the picture that we've showed before, that shows the steps of using this scooter. We need to identify first, is the customers or the people who are filling our survey that we are getting information or feedback from are actually possible customers that going to buy, who will buy our product. So we need to be in our survey, whatever the survey we're using, the first set of questions in that survey should be something called screener questions. And examples of those, we need to find the qualification of the people who are filling our survey. Are they going to buy it or not? So we can ask them, how far do you live from campus? If not 1 to 3 miles, thank the customer and in the interview. This is very important because we need to identify exactly who will be buying our scooter if your segment is college students and people who are going to use it to commute between the college and their residence, a place of residency. And then you can ask, how do you currently get to and from the campus, and how do you currently get around the campus? This will identify to us whether this interviewee is one of our customers or not. Also, you can present the concept description in different ways. You can use the storyboard, you can use verbal, you can use a prototype or a cardboard or model, whatever you would like to use. I just wanted to highlight this because this is very important. It's not being rude, but we need to be precise that whoever we are interviewing for our project are possible customers. And this is something you need to do for your project as well. You need to identify and screen who you are interviewing through your survey. Okay, after that, so let's say we have a survey. Our people who are we interviewing are possible customers. Now the 5th step in the process of concept testing is something called measuring customer response. And this is done using from the survey itself, and it is within the survey format that we are creating. So let's say we're using our electric scooter, so we want to identify purchase intent. This is very important in the concept testing. It's not just we're getting qualitative feedback from people that they like the concept or they don't like it, or we're not identifying needs. At this stage, we would like to see exactly who will buy our product. And to do this, we are going to use a scale of 5 answers. So if the product we can ask them before showing, we will tell them about the product, explain it to them, and then we will ask them if the product were priced according to your expectation. For example, for the electric scooter, let's ask them if it's priced as $689 and how likely would you be to purchase the scooter within the next year? And we have these 5 answers. We need to be here on the top 2 answers. I would definitely purchase, or I would probably purchase. We need to keep our eyes on those and how much percentage of people are answering these 2. Now, keep in mind that the purchase intent should be quantified before using the product. So we can tell them what our product, we can show it to them, but we are not going to let them use the product. So we need to ask these questions before using the product. And also we can ask them we can ask the question without identifying the price, similar to what you're seeing on the screen, is if it were priced according to your expectations, and we can ask them what would you expect the price to be, and we need to record that. And also, you need, as a interviewer, you need to see why did the respondent reacted in such a way when they've seen the product or when they touched it or when you explained it. So the body language is very important. You need to record and look at this later on. So let's say customers filled this part of the survey. So remember, we have two parts. The first part was the screener questions, and then the purchase intent part. This is the second part. After that, we need to let them experience the product. So you have multiple ways. You can let them use the product. You can let them use the prototype. You can let them watch a video. So this is a link of the video of how the developing team, what the developing team used to show people the scooter, and to feel what it's going to do and explain what are the functionality of it. And then you need to, after having seen the video of the product, you need to ask the interviewees to fill the questionnaire, to identify which of those 5 selections they would use. How likely would you be to purchase the scooter within the next year after experiencing or after watching your video? Here it's very important that you need to identify what would you expect the price of the scooter to be from the customers. Ask them again, and what concerns do you have about the product concepts? This should be asked to them interviewees. And also you can ask them, can you make any suggestion for improving the product concept itself? So step 5, measuring customer responses, is 2 steps. First, you need to explain and introduce yourself, explain the process, the product, and then let them identify their purchase intent by selecting one of these 5 selections, and then let them use it or watch a video, get them more involved with the product itself or the prototype, and then ask them to fill to select one of these 5 selections again and see if it changed before using or experiencing the product itself. This step is very important, and it will give us exactly what's the percentage of people who are going to buy our product or intend to buy our product, and that's going to help us in forecasting. So we're getting more and more into the quantification of numbers of what how customers would react of our product and how they are perceiving it. One more comment I would like to do is that you might have, so we have these 5 selections that I would definitely not purchase, up to I will definitely purchase. You can ask people to, if they are not comfortable with this setup, you can ask them to give you a numerical probability of purchase. So they will say, well, I have 30% probability that I will purchase this, or 20%. Sometimes people would prefer doing that. They would like to do this. I also would recommend you to look at the survey that is on chapter 9, this exhibit 910, and I will ask you in the coming weekly activity grid to create similar survey. The survey is in chapter 9, and it's page 182. Please prepare yourself to create something like this for your product and for your project that you're working on. Thank you for watching, and till next video. Bye.